AMD basically, put its proverbial middle finger up at the market and said, I think the demand for semiconductors is big. And they proved it with some really robust numbers, Pat.
Yeah, they did. So let's jump in here. So as you can see, they beat on EPS by 22% and beat on revenue by 5.6%. Just an absolute blowout. And the key here is this wasn't just off the back of Xilinx. Okay, right? When you beat expectations, these are financial analysts that already have these numbers baked in. But if we drill in a little bit to the content here, let me find the right slide. So yeah, they beat and they raised record revenue up 71%. Gross margin they increased by 2 basis points to 48%. Record earnings per share. The computing group was up 33%, pretty much on the back of Ryzen and Radeon. They had record operating income. There's no Xilinx in here at all. And then you have EES, Enterprise, Embedded, and Semi-Custom. They were up all lines, up 88%. Epic Server doubles revenue again year over year. Again, no Xilinx, but Xilinx was up 22%, which was pretty impressive. I want to put a focus, kind of a little long term, and I think visually it says a lot here. So here is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quarter revenue trend by AMD. pretty astounding. Oh, but there must be something on gross margin that's wrong. Oh, well, actually, gross margin is up and to the right, big time. Well, it must be an op inc thing. Then they can't possibly be doing this well on EPS. Well, here's EPS. I mean, just an absolute blowout. And then you say, well, gosh, it must be this Xilinx thing for the first quarter. Well, actually, here are AMD results excluding Xilinx, and you can see the monster numbers that they cranked out here. My final comment here, macro-wise, is about Xilinx, and I think Xilinx gives them durability between troughs in the industry. Xilinx business and the customers they have are less driven by the wackadoodle up and down PC market and the enterprise data center market. So I think that gives them a little bit more durability. Xilinx also brings in a higher gross margin, which I think is good as well. But I just feel like, Daniel, AMD just kind of hit a different place.
Yeah, Pat, the overall performance of AMD has continued to boggle the mind, and it's not been a secret. I had plenty of critical comments about AMD early on, and I thought maybe their momentum had more to do with some of Intel's misgivings, missed deadlines, than it did with AMD's performance. But it's starting to look, I think if you actually look back to when AMD had about less than 1% of the server market share, some of the comments that Lisa Su made about basically her fundamental beliefs, philosophy, what she thought and foresee happening, and most of them have come true. So she's looking incredibly smart right now. Of course, doesn't need my vindication. The market has done that. I also think, Pat, you covered a lot of the results very well, but I think one of the most interesting things is I can't stop thinking about the decoupling of the market and the results and the demand for semiconductors. And of course, personally, I think a lot of us have taken a beating over the last several months in the market if you're long growth. And I'm not long AMD, so I'll be very clear about that, or really any company that we talk about on this show. But just my overall perspective of how important tech is versus the way the market is perceiving tech. Despite this humongous result and this great overall performance by AMD, the stock in the company is down like 40, 50%. It's still way off where it was at its high. But this is one of those companies that if you look at them and you have a long vision, their trajectory seems to be up. And the demand for chips, the demand for even PCs, which we all thought, Pat, were going to fall really hard when the remote work and the pandemic slowed, is showing that when you're building high quality premium products, the performance has been sustained. So a lot of the fall off in PCs over the last several months that has been out there has been in Chromebooks, ultra low end, but at the middle and upper tiers, the performance has been robust. We saw this with Qualcomm's numbers. We're seeing this with AMD's numbers. Even in Intel's numbers, a big part of their PC miss had to do with that low end of the market being so weak right now. But on the other hand, Pat, the data center business is just outstanding. The growth of that, because I think, the PC business showed that it's more robust than just remote work and the pandemic. But the data center business, whether that's cloud scale or whether that's enterprise, is becoming extraordinarily sound right now. And companies that are kind of buckling down for a potential downturn in the economy, for a tighter market, are investing in infrastructure. They're investing in data. They're investing in AI. And a company like AMD is very well positioned to take advantage of that. The work that's been done to build their next generation of products, to be accommodating and refactoring workloads, some of the things that have been challenging have all turned the corner, Pat. And so, congratulations to Lisa and AMD on a quarter well done. Semiconductor demand is strong. I continue to believe it will stay strong. It's a deflationary technology that's going to be utilized for software, data, AI, ML, automation. And so the technologies that enable that are going to still be needed no matter what the market's perception is of technology.